we're rolling down 145 down here in from Wilsonville to Clinton. I'm heading back to Montgomery this evening and so forth. But I figured while I was riding down the damn road, counting the mile markers and looking at all the other people and vast beautifulness that is Alabama, I got to thinking, and I was thinking about some stuff that kind of makes me laugh. And this may make y'all laugh too, but does anybody else go out during the holidays hoping they'll see two grandmas fighting over a 55-inch TV? Or am I the only one? I find that shit funny. Black Friday, I find that shit funny. Thanksgiving, I don't know. Anyway, I also find this, not driving no pickup, and I notice there's a few people still driving these old trucks. Well, that's no kind of big news in any way. But one thing I've noticed while I'm on the interstate, I get passed by Priuses a lot. And the reason why I get passed by Priuses, but it pisses me off. Really, it does. And I tell you why I get passed by them, because I know my truck, and my truck will get up and go down the road. But there's something called a gas hand and a speedometer, and they work simultaneously. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, there's that. And oh, I just remembered this. About, I don't know, a few years ago, me and a buddy of mine was rolling down I-20 one night, and we seen this big old Ford lifted up and whatnot. Pretty nice looking old truck, but the closer we got, we noticed something wasn't quite right about the lift. Now, I'm not a mechanic by no means. I do tinker with shit. But this guy took wood and put them as spacers for his lift on the ass end of his truck, right? Me and a buddy of mine, we looked at each other and go, that is not safe. And if you knew both of us, most of the time me and this fucker get together, the shit we do is unsafe to begin with. But we're safety conscious about it. But anyway, we've all seen shit where you just look at it and go, that's really unsafe. How are you still alive? It was one of those moments. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. You'll see a lot of crazy shit running up and down the interstates. You will. But I don't know if it's because they're too fucking broke or just that ingenuitive or that creative. So either way, that is very dangerous and funny at the same time, and also creative. Now, personally, I'm not going to lift my truck with wood. A little bit smarter than that. But there's just some things that are just, you just got to take a step back and go, wait a minute, man. What? Yeah. But back to what I was saying. I've noticed a lot of newer vehicles and stuff like that, and these really younger kids driving them. And, you know, it kind of hurts my feeling because I work hard. You know, and I drive old Dodge, a 96 model. But don't get me wrong, I like my truck. I like my old trucks. I always have. But what kind of aggravates me a little bit is, for some reason, you know, squatting your truck has become very, very ridiculously popular down here in the South. But I don't understand that. I don't want this. If my truck is like that at any point in time, it's because I've got a really big ass fucking load on the ass end of it. It's not doing that willingly. It's not I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old or something, or I'm just realizing the error of my younger ways. So, some shit I used to think, you know, when I was a kid, I used to look cool as hell, man, you know. Still do, you know. But I'm just a big kid at heart. Anyway. But yeah, the squatting truck, that I don't know. I'll be glad when that fad goes out. Because, me personally, I think it looks dumb. There are a lot of other people that thinks it looks dumb. So, I don't get it. So that doesn't make all that great a sense in either fashion for me. But what do I know? I don't know a whole lot. But yeah, going back to Montgomery to try and finish a building. We got a couple more weeks left out here. So, no big deal. You know, it's just finishing up and putting more in, and finishing that up and putting more in. I'm kind of glad when that building gets done anyway. It's a weird building. It's a square building that's not square. That's where it comes together like that. It's kind of offset or kind of turned just a little bit. So, and it's kind of confusing. But all through this building is nothing but tubing. Well, underneath of the iron that's being put on, it's these galvanized tubes, and I'll tell you, it's there for support. They go from the bottom of the iron to the concrete floor. Well, I've never seen nothing really like it, you know, so it's kind of confusing. But what this building is every county in Alabama that has had a lynching or anything like that, or some person that's been hung, apparently every pole that's in this monument is going to have a name in the county. So I'm sitting here thinking, well, there's a lot of counties in Alabama, and there's probably a lot of people in Alabama at that particular point in time in history. I don't think that's going to be big enough. But that's just one fool's opinion. Now, a little bit of a moral thicket I've been having, you know, kind of trying to wrap my head around this whole ordeal and trying to be, you know, smart about it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll help them build the building no matter what. You know, I mean, that's what I'm being paid for. But that is about as far as it goes for me. You know, if you want to do something like that, you really ought to do something for the Native Americans, because they pretty much got fucked on this whole American ordeal. I mean, literally got fucked. But this is not a political video. This is just something to pass the time while I'm rolling down the road here. So, anyway, let me think a minute. But yeah, the building is interesting itself. I have to take some pictures and post it, or take a video at my lunchtime while we're on lunch. That way I can show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. I think somebody told me there's going to be over 800 poles in this monument, which is pretty cool, but that's a lot of damn poles. And the way they got them set up, they're kind of, I don't know, it's just a weird building. Take my word for it. It's an extremely weird, awkward building. I'll get back over on my side of the road here. Trying to drive, record, and dip, spit it all at the same time. I'm a multitasker. Why drive and make a video, you say? Well, because I ain't got much nothing else to do, and I talk to myself way too damn much. But, it's confusing. It really is. But back to what I was saying earlier about me running up down these roads of good old Alabama. One thing you'll notice about Alabama once you get past the bigger cities like Mobile, Gulf Shores, Montgomery, Birmingham, Hoover, and those kind of areas. But there's still a lot of these old farm communities left. Like, I'll show y'all one right now. Well, it's not really a farm, but you know, there's stuff like that right there. A lot of that is still left in Alabama, which is great. You know, still a lot of woods left down here in this state. But one thing I've noticed is a lot of things are trying to push these small towns out more than anything. And that is urbanization. Now, I don't quietly agree with urbanization, but this is just one fool's opinion, and this is one fool's video. Remember this. But, if you look back years and years and years and years and years and some more years and a lot of years after that, urbanization down here in the South was not even thought of. You know? When going to town, man, you had to go 40 miles one way. That was going to town. That's what I'm talking about. And a simpler life back then. You know, a point in time where I think people really depended on their neighbors and actually had to know their neighbors than they do now. So which that, I kind of understand that, depending on your neighbors and stuff like that. Like, I have a neighbor where I live at. He only comes around maybe, I don't know, a couple times a month. He'll stay a week or two and then go back over to Georgia. But every time I see him, I'll try to take the time to go talk to him and stuff like that, because I live right beside him, you know, and all his stuff's out in the open. So I try to keep an eye on his stuff, make sure nobody's messed with it, or things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of, I guess like the Bible says, love thy neighbor. But if you don't like your neighbor, piss on him. You know. But that's just the way that conversation goes. But most of us, there are good neighbors out there. There are some bad neighbors, and then there's some obnoxious neighbors like the new teenage kids that live up the road that just got their driver's license and got their trucks all straight piped and stuff like that. But, you know, hey, look at it this way. We were all that young at one point in time. You know, now, me personally, I don't agree with straight pipes. I think they're more obnoxious than anything, you know. Of course, you can't beat the good sound of a nice, decent muffler or a good motor. Now, if your motor's beefed up and all that stuff, got a good cam, you know, stuff like that, by all means, I'm not going to bitch about it, no. But if you're just running around in a stock Z71 or F-150 bone stock, listen, put the straight pipes down. Put the straight pipe down. Just put it down, man. Because it just sounds like crap. All you hear is you know, that's what I think it sounds like. Of course, I probably just nailed it right there, but anyway, fun is fun, and you know, you're young. Once you get a little bit older and after a few years of riding in that loud bastard, you're gonna realize, I think I want some mufflers on this son of a bitch. You know? And if you put straight pipes on something, make sure it's a stick shift, because that way when you will actually let off the gas and use your gear down, it sounds like a jake brake. So that's kind of fun too. I've done that a little bit. Bah, you know. I should have been a truck driver, but here's the thing: I don't like driving all that much. I hate traffic. I hate interstates. I just don't feel like sitting on my ass all day. Not my kind of guy. But I like diesel motors. I like semis. Semis are pretty damn cool. You know? We all have our little nicks in life that we're good at. Most of us try to fight to find what we're good at, and the others just let whatever the fuck they're good at just pass them on by. So, with this being said, seize the day. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe out there. And remember, I don't even know what I was going to say. But anyway, y'all stay safe. Drive with both hands. Don't text and drive. You know, don't drink and drive. Sip and swerve. Y'all take care.